My name is Rex Weddle. I'm the SCA Board President. To my right is Bella Meese, current Board Secretary, and she holds one of those double offices. She's also Vice President of Community Affairs. And Sandy Seddon, as many of you know, our General Manager. It is great to see such a turnout. The sergeant here, excuse me, the captain here is such a familiar face around here. We're thinking about giving him his own activity card. But it is great to see so many people out. There are some issues that we wanted to talk about today, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Captain Mattoon so he can introduce his team and launch right into the subject matter.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for having me up here. I am Dane Mattoon. I'm your West Area Captain of the West Area Command. In a nutshell, that is 95 west of the freeway, south of 215, and all the way out to the end. We also go up Green Valley Parkway, just on the west side of Green Valley Parkway, all the way up to Warm Springs. So it is our largest area command by far in population and in size. Here today with me to your right is Deputy Chief Todd Peters.
Hi everybody, thank you for coming. One thing I will say, just real quick, I don't want to take up a lot of time. I was standing here, or just sitting here talking to Tony. When you see a turnout like this, on a day like today, it means that you guys really care about your community. So thank you for being here, okay?
I also brought with me Community Relation Officers John Bezrutzik and Zane. So I'd like to echo what the Deputy Chief just said. We here in Henderson have just a great partnership with our community, our City Council, our Mayor, our City Manager, the Chief of Police, and of course the public. We all get along so well, and we have turnouts like this where it's standing room only. And it's because we're concerned and we care about our community. How many people know about the Nextdoor app? A few hands out there. We started that last January with the Henderson Police Department. We have about 21,000 people signed up for that. 2/3 of the people signed up are in my West Area Command. That's how engaged the West Area is on specific things, specifically police, crime, and safety, and that kind of stuff. So if you're not on Nextdoor, it's a great way to keep in touch with your neighborhood. There's 188 specific neighborhoods within Henderson. And when you sign up, you're actually part of that single neighborhood, and they vet the person by your address, and then you can have a dialogue, kind of like a Facebook or a chat, that lets you know what's going on in your neighborhood. And it's a great way for people to stay informed on what's going on, what's suspicious, what's not. And we really encourage its use, and we try to use it as much as possible to send out information and communicate. We all know why we're up here. We've seen an uptick in burglaries in the last 3 months that is not really indicative of this area, this B area of Williams 6, we call it, in the City of Henderson's Police Department. So that includes Coventry, Solera, Sun City, Anthem are the main parts of that area. And we have seen, I wouldn't call it an epidemic, but definitely it's a little strange for us to see this many burglaries going on. Approximately as of yesterday, Sun City Anthem has seen since September approximately 16 burglaries. Solera has seen approximately 11, and Coventry has seen about 6. These are the ones that we are looking at to be related to a specific series going on with probably the same group of suspects or one suspect. I'm assuming there's probably more than one person. When they first started, they were forcing the front doors of the houses open, and nobody was home. And then now they've actually, the last few weeks, the burglaries we've been taking that match this MO are the back rear sliders are being broken out, and they're making entry that way, and then usually walking out the front door, because we find the front door unlocked with the back door broken. And real quick, for the semantics, which is very important in law and in law enforcement, a robbery is the taking of something by force or fear of force. That would be if I were to grab John right here, grab his arm and say, "Give me your wallet." I've just committed a robbery, because that is violence, and he is afraid of what's going on. He'd probably kick my butt, but he'd still be afraid. So, a burglary, on the other hand, I'd like to say, are cowards and lazy. They want to use your stuff so they don't have to get a job. and make their money, but they don't want to see you, they don't want to confront you, and they don't want to be around dogs or anything that make them have to work any harder. So today we're going to talk about some of the things that you guys can do to assist us in trying to find out who these guys are and also harden your target through different layers, which my officers over here are going to explain in depth the things that we offer in the Henderson Police Department and the little things that you can do. Everybody remembers the club from the 1990s that you put on your steering wheel to stop people from stealing your car? Well, when we all started, and we're probably not Bez, he's too young. When the other three of us started, in the early 90s, we were getting 50 to 60 Hondas and Saturns stolen a day in the Las Vegas Valley because some kids learned that you could steal them with a scissors in about 30 seconds. Once they found that out, they were stealing them from North Las Vegas, driving them out to the El Dorado in Henderson, having breakfast, and then going out in the parking lot, finding another similar car and stealing that one and driving it back. So it made for a real pain in our butt. So people started buying the club and putting it on their cars, and that actually helped really reduce auto theft. I was an auto theft detective for quite some time, and you can defeat a good car thief can defeat the club in about 11 seconds. They were stealing the cars with the scissors in about 30 seconds, and the club added another 11 seconds. But if you've got one Honda here with the club and one without, they're lazy. They're going to go with the one without and get out of it in 30 seconds. The one with the club, they're probably just not going to spend time because you have to sit up there with a saw on the steering wheel. And my whole point on that is harden your target. What we'd like to see is people leaving their lights on during the nighttime out by their garage and their front porch. If you have motion lights on the sides of your house or in the backyard, keeping your drapes drawn so people can't look in at night, especially this way if we get into the time change and it's darker earlier. And not leaving your car parked outside of your garage, and if you have to, remove all the valuables inside the car, including your garage door opener. If you leave your garage door opener in your car in your driveway or out on the street, they break into the car, now they have access to your house. I know my wife leaves the door between the house into the garage unlocked almost most nights with the garage door down. So if anybody got through that garage door, you would have access into the house. So it's those kind of layers that we're talking about that are really simple things and can be very helpful in a deterrent. And what I'd like to do is, let's put a club on Sun City Anthem, not just your neighbors, and just to force them to your next neighbor. Let's let everybody get involved. And these guys are going to talk about Neighborhood Watch, and that's one of the best programs that we found nationwide and for over 40 years or so that has worked very well in deterring crime and getting people engaged to know what's suspicious and not suspicious in their neighborhood. When we drive through your neighborhood, we're really reliant upon you guys to tell us what cars should be there, what people should be walking around, how they should be. Is that house normal? That's a single woman who lives there alone, and there's teenagers walking in the house. That's not normal. That's something we call a clue. You need to call us. Along those same lines, please use 311. A lot of people don't want to report suspicious things because they don't want to bother the police. You pay us to be bothered. We're the people who bother other people for you. Got it? That's why we have the bat belt, we have this uniform, we've got the cars that are brightly lit. Is our job is to confront those people that you guys don't know who they might be. 9 times out of 10 in your neighborhood, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be somebody who's rightfully there. But that one time could be the person we need to solve one of these crimes that we're talking about today. So it's very important that we understand that. 311 is the best way to get a hold of us for non-emergency. Anytime you feel in fear of your safety or somebody else's safety, that's a 911 call. 311 up here can be a little tricky sometimes though, because you guys are up on the hill. You might your cell phone might log on to a physically addressed cell tower in Las Vegas Metro. What happens then is that will go into their queue, and they are such a huge organization. They're so busy with priority 1 calls. Is a lot of times their 311 will stay on hold for 30 to 40 minutes at a time. Henderson doesn't have that happen. We're not that busy, and we have enough officers and dispatchers to handle the crime, the calls for service in our area. It's just Metro's just so huge, and that's not a slight on them. It's just what they have to deal with in this huge valley. So if you guys write this number down, and I'll send it to Sandy so she can send it out in email blast, but it's 702-267-5000. That's a direct line into dispatch. Then a message board will come on, and you just hit option 2. That'll take you right to a dispatcher. That's not for 911. 911 will go directly to them, and you won't have a wait time there. But 311 sometimes will, even in Henderson, have a 5 maybe 6 or 7 minute wait, depending on calls for service and the time of day you call. But please call 311. I came back from my days off today after having several of these meetings now up in this area over the last 3 weeks, and I would love to help everybody in here personally, but I'm here at meetings, so I'm not at my desk right now. I'm not on my phone or my computer, so if you message me a suspicious person or car, or leave it on my desk phone, I got a bunch of messages from Friday suspicious people on my desk phone today. Well, that was Friday, and I haven't been in my office since Thursday night. So it's imperative that you call the police department, and we have people 24/7 all the time that go out and do that kind of thing. We have our patrol officers who go and do that. So it's 702-267-5000, and then it'll be option 2 on the menu when you ask. So please, that's a great thing to store in your phone, so you don't have to worry about that 311 going to Las Vegas Metro. The number I just gave you will always go to us. One of the other things that's a little strange in this series, and we don't usually find the burglars like this, but most of them have been happening between the hours of 12 noon and about 6 p.m. at night. I would say that's a little strange because most of the time we see that in a bedroom community like Coventry, where a lot of people are gone working all day, and you're a retirement community. But then I look at the amenities that you guys have here, Solera and also Sun City. You guys are gone all the time. I think you guys are busier now than when you actually had 9 to 5 jobs. So, that's why you live up here. It's a great place. But in all the burglaries that I mentioned to start off with, not one single person has been home and been confronted by one of these people, which is a good thing on our side, because we don't want you guys to be face-to-face with a burglar like that. Any one of these people, we don't know what they're thinking, but like I said, most of the time burglars are not, they don't want to be around people, they don't want to confront people, and if somebody is there, they usually take off. We've had a lot of reports of attempted burglaries by people knocking on the front door, and then when somebody answered, they took off and got back in their car and said they had the wrong address. We don't really consider that a attempted burglary. We do think that's suspicious, and we do want to know about that. If that happens to your house, try to get a description of them from inside your house. Don't open your door, and try to get a description of their car if you can see one, and a license plate number. That is great. Along the lines of hardening your target, and I know these guys will talk about some of that, but I just want to touch on front security gates, or security gates at all, those steel ones. I know they're expensive, but they're a great deterrent. And then there's also a laminate that they can put on glass. It's like window tint, but it's totally clear. And it turns your windows and your glass doors into basically windshields of your car. If you hit it with a rock, it'll break and spider, but it won't fall out, and you can't reach in without cutting yourself. And there again, it becomes a club for your house. Why use that one? I just tried to break the window on that one, I'll go next door. If we can start to harden the entire area like that, maybe they'll stay in Vegas where I've been thinking they're coming. So, quote me on that. We're going to go with that. You know what? We're going to go through a little presentation here, talk about some things, and then I'm going to have a question and answer to finish this up for as long as basically that takes. And if we need to go a little longer, I'll make myself available out here in the lobby for you, okay? One other thing we're finding with technology is great is we've got a doorbell camera that works on your Wi-Fi. And you put it on the front of where your doorbell is, and it works into your Wi-Fi of your computer. And if you have a cell signal anywhere in the world, you can answer your doorbell, and they think that you're inside. You can see them, they can't see you, you can talk to them. And even if you're just in your jammies, you know, watching a movie and you've got the popcorn going, you don't want to answer the door, you can look and say, hey, what do you want? Well, I need to talk to you about security systems. You know what, I'm not interested. You need to leave. Well, I just need to talk to you, sir, you need, or ma'am, you need to leave. If they don't leave after a second time or a third time, that's when you say, I'm calling the police. You stop the call with them, and you call 911 and call us and tell them there's somebody trespassing your front porch, refusing to leave. That would be a 911 call. If they just knock once and say, oh, I was looking for Susie, and you're like, there's never been a Susie who lives here, and it seems suspicious, and you seem a lot younger than the people that should be walking around a retirement community at night or even in the daytime, call 311. We'll try to find them as they're exiting or in the area to vet who they are, and then we'll also have all their information written down. So if a crime did occur prior to them contacting you or us contacting them, and we find out about it a day or two later, we now have all the information about a suspicious person, and that's a lead for us, just like a license plate is. A white four-door car is not a great lead, because I think as soon as we leave out here, we can probably go count 400 or 500 out in the parking lot right now. So it's just a license plate number, a description of a person really helps us out and gives us leads to a chance to move forward and get these people caught and prosecuted. Before I turn it over, you know, we're the police department. We're kind of, I equate us to the Army, the military service. We'll lose some battles, but we never ever lose the war. We will catch these guys and we will prosecute them, and they will be put away. We're just going to need your help to do that. So, Bez, go ahead.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you guys all for being here. I've been a police officer now. I'm lucky enough to be working here in Henderson for 8 years. I've been doing the community portion of this for about 2.5. And just walking in here, looking out, I see a lot of familiar faces. And it's great to see everybody here, to see you guys all here, and to care about what's going on, and to care about the community, all right? It's evident that you guys care just as much as we care. And that's a good feeling for all of us. So we appreciate your support, you guys showing up for this. As the facilitators of the Neighborhood Watch, not only here in Sun City, but all the neighborhood watches that we do in the city of Henderson, when they start up, everybody asks, how should we start our neighborhood watch? And every single time, when we tell them, there's no way that you can do it the way that Sun City does it, but we always use you guys as our example, all right? I start every meeting, especially the ones that we have up here, by telling everybody that you guys specifically have by far the best neighborhood watch program in the city of Henderson. And recently, I've been corrected to say that and I'll go to bat for it, you guys have the best neighborhood watch in the whole state of Nevada. You really do. You guys should be proud of it. You really should. You guys take the time you guys see the patrols out there. It's nothing as organized as what I've seen. You guys do a great job. The whole key to Neighborhood Watch is looking out for each other. And that's what you guys do. You guys care about your neighborhood. You guys care about each other. Just look out. You know, talk to your neighbors, know each other. I'm not asking you to know everybody on the street and know everybody's business and be the nosy neighbor about everything. That's not what we necessarily want. But know your 4 or 5 neighbors around you, right? Know what they're doing, what their habits are when they're leaving town, and have their phone number, and that's all we really want. If you have an eye on them, they have an eye on you. That little portion of your neighborhood, of your block, should be fine, right? And if everybody does that, everything's going to go smoothly. When you're out walking your dog, right? This is, I know a lot of us are still working out here, so we got a lot of shift workers still. So some people are walking their dogs at 2 in the morning when they come home or whenever it is. If you're walking your dogs, even if you wake up early, 5 in the morning, you're walking around, keep an eye on things, right? If you see something or somebody that doesn't belong, let us know, all right? You know what belongs in your neighborhood. You know if something's suspicious, call us, all right? If there's a car there that doesn't belong, if you see somebody that just doesn't fit, right? It's pretty easy being an age-restricted community. If you see a couple of 25-year-old kids walking around, call us, right? That doesn't fit, right? That's not normal for your neighborhood. Call 311 and call and have us out there, all right? That's our job. We love this. I worked graveyard the last 3 years before coming to this assignment. Those graveyard guys would love to come out here and get with some dirt and, get to a foot pursuit or something. That's why those guys work graveyard, right? They want to go out and do some real good police work. So, especially the graveyard guys, if you see that at that time of night, give us a call. All right, but anytime, if you see something that doesn't belong, please call it in. All right, that's how we're going to catch these guys. Not only this specific case that's been going on the last month or two, but anytime. If you see something that doesn't fit, give us a call. All right. It also gives us extra teeth in the job that we do. All right. If I'm driving down the street, I can't, unless somebody's breaking the law in front of me, I can't force them to come and talk to me. All right, I can ask him to. I can, hey, essentially, hey, will you come talk to me? And if he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, he can just, say no thanks and keep going. But if you call, all right, and tell the dispatcher, here's my name and address, and this person does not belong in my neighborhood, that is going to give me more teeth, and I can then stop that person legally and force him to come talk to me. All right, you say this person does not belong in my neighborhood, and you give us those tools, like I said, give us those teeth to stop that person, then it helps me do my job a lot better. All right? But we just need your help. All right? You guys know what belongs up here and what doesn't, so help us do our job. You guys do a great job at it already. Just keep it up. All right? Really an amazing, amazing job. Samaria is our neighborhood watch leader. She's the whole organizer for the whole area. We couldn't do it without her, so Samaria is amazing, amazing job. I wish I knew how long she's been doing it. Like I said, it's been 2.5 years I've been doing this, and ever since then, she's been completely on top of it.
She could be up here doing this presentation.
Absolutely. She's been doing it a long while. So I have a couple of forms that I know she has a whole bunch of, that what we're asking for, what she's specifically asking for in some of the villages, actually all the villages, are some extra facilitators. All right, the way you guys are broken down, there's 24 villages right now up here in Sun City. 20 of the 24 have established neighborhood watches. That's amazing. It really is for that percentage, right? It would be even better if we can get those other 4 villages to round out. If we can have every single village up here to be a part of our neighborhood watch. So, not to call anybody out, but if you live in Hillside, Foothills, Meadows Vista, or Clubhouse, we don't have a neighborhood watch center. All right, so if you guys live in any of those 4 villages, we want to establish a neighborhood watch center. All right, what we need is a village facilitator, kind of like that point of contact between Samaria and your village. All right, kind of like one main person, and then that village facilitator is then in contact with the block captains. All right, you're kind of in charge of your little street there, about 6 to 12 houses. All right, you have contact with them. It's kind of like a little pyramid, right? I have contact with Samaria and maybe that village facilitator, and that's it. I don't need to have contact with every person that lives in the neighborhood. It'd be like you said, like the captain said, you'd be inundated with all these emails and everything, right? So if you have a question, you bring it up to your block captain brings it up to your facilitator, who then talks to Samaria, who can bring it up to me. It's an easy way to funnel all the information. So that's how we would love to get these 4 villages started. But we also, Samaria asked me to let everybody know that the village facilitators in all these established neighborhood watches, we need some more as well, right? I guess people are either getting tired of either doing it, retiring from that, maybe getting sick and unable to perform their duties. So these forms here that Samaria has says join now. All right, she's going to have a whole bunch of them, big bold letters, join now. On these, there's a couple check marks. If you want to be a village facilitator, there's a place for that. If you'd like to be a block captain, or if you just want to participate in the neighborhood watch, please sign these or check these, and it has your information, your name, your address, an email, and a phone number. It's really all the information that we need. We'd love to get as many people as we can in our neighborhood watch. The more people, the more eyes on the street, the better. That's really the whole key of the whole neighborhood watch program. Like I said, you guys are already doing a great job. 20 out of 24, that's 10 out of, that's 5 out of 6. If I had that kind of batting average in high school, then I'd be still playing with the pros. I wouldn't be a police officer if I was batting, 800, but I batted like 220, that's why I didn't get drafted. So. But you guys are doing a great job, 800%, 80% is great, but let's make that 100%. Let's get those 4 villages established, and let's get, more people signed up for this neighborhood watch for the other villages that are still out there. So if you aren't signed up, let's please sign up. The only real requirement that we have is an annual meeting, all right? And we usually hold it right across the parking lot here. It's maybe an hour long. Some villages do everything different. Some villages there's a potluck where you get to meet, you meet everybody in your village and you have dinner there. But we're always there, right? We come out, that's how I get to meet everybody, right? That's why everybody looks so familiar. We come out, we talk to you guys, give you some updates on what's going on in the neighborhood. And it's really, no better way to have that face-to-face contact with your police officers here in Henderson. So you guys do it amazingly. Just keep it up, all right? We really appreciate everything that you guys do. Officer Simpson here is going to chat to you guys a little bit about our home inspections and give you a couple tips on how to better secure your residences. All right? We will be here to answer some questions when you guys are done, but thank you guys all again for coming. You guys are amazing.
All right, so I'm Zane Simpson. That's Dane. We were on the same squad for a while. Zane and Dane. It was great when somebody called to complain to our sergeant. So we were like,
There was a Shane too.
Yeah, there was a Shane. So we had Shane, Zane, and Dane on the same squad. So it worked out well for us. So I've been asked to talk a little bit about our safety inspections. And before I go on too far with that, on how great this program is up here, I was doing one today about 9 o'clock up Summersworth or Summer, whatever it is. And anyway, so I was up there with the guy, and he said, and we were talking about how great this program is, and he said, man, I just had some work done at my house, and the guys pulled up in a white van, and a lady I've never seen before came down the street. He lives on a corner, so it's, you know, he's got a couple streets. He goes, but I know most of my neighbors. This lady came down the street, got out of her car next to the van, took pictures of the license plate, took pictures. You know what I mean? He don't even know who she is. He's like, clearly she lived up here. She's my age, you know. And he goes, so people are watching out for each other. That doesn't happen. I work on the east side of town. I'm not normally on the west side. That's why I probably do not look familiar to most of you guys. And I'm over in our low-income housing in our trailer parks. And you know, when the captain says there's 16 burglaries here, you know, over at 1100 Center, there's 16 calls in a day. So you have a lot of stuff going on, but in the great scheme of things, this is a pretty safe community. And it's because people are out there paying attention and watching out for each other, right? So for our home inspections, you know, we offer for free. Everybody that's in our community relations gets extra training on. It's called Crime Prevention through Environmental Design, CPTED for short. Gets an extra training in that. So to sign up for that, all you got to do is go on cityofhenderson.com. In the top right-hand corner, there's a purplish colored button that says Contact Henderson. You click on that, you say what I want. I'd like to have a home safety inspection. The people that do their computer stuff will send it to our secretary. She'll separate it out to us, and one of us will come up and give you a security inspection. You know, it's relatively easy to struggle through finding it, even if you don't have really great computer skills. I've been on 22 years. I'm not the computer guy. I started, you know, we wrote reports, and our sergeants scribbled on them in red, so we had to go have the victim sign a new face sheet and stuff like that. When I started, where, you know, our new guys don't know what to do without a computer, so you know, it's different. Let's see. But some of the things on our CPTED, you know, there's no huge secrets out here. You know, bad guys are like cockroaches. If you put lights on it, they're going to run away from it, right? So when I come out to your house, I'm going to tell you, you know, your tree should be trimmed up 6 feet. Your bushes should be trimmed down 3 feet. Bad guy can't hide behind it. You look out your window. There's nothing blocking your view to the street. You can see if someone's breaking into your neighbor's house. You know, there's no secrets. We're going to tell you to put motion sensors on the side of your house for lighting, because they may not be breaking into your house. They might be breaking into your neighbor's house. But you're sitting in your house, blinds are closed, but your sensor comes on. You're going to see that even through the blinds. What's going on the side of my house? Is there a coyote up here? A rabbit running through, or is there a bad guy? You peek out the window and there's somebody trying to break open your neighbor's window. How great is that, right? So, you know, a lot of our stuff is just common sense. Like the captain already talked about, the laminate is great. It's expensive. The security doors he talked about, I can tell you right now, our SWAT team is not going through a big security door. They're going to cut your garage door off. They're going to kick in the back door. They're going to find another way to blow something up before they try and
They're not the ones doing burglaries. So.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like, even us as cops, we don't go through those security gates. When I was on the FBI task force, we came to one that there was such a huge gate to get to the front door. They literally took a big old saw and cut a hole that we could walk through the garage. So he got home, because unfortunately he wasn't home. He had a mouse hole circle through his garage door, right? So we don't go through those. The laminate, like you said, it secures your home. The more lights you can put out there at night, the less somebody's going to want to come by there. And not only the cameras on the doorbells, now they even have those same cameras that will go on, like the lights that are outside your garage door. So the same thing, even a car driving by, fantastic intel for us. You know, you find out your neighbor's house was burglarized, And you can say, hey, you know what, I was looking back through my thing, I think at 3 o'clock I had a strange car driving by, I got a picture of it. That's something we could use because these cameras will upload on your wireless to the cloud. You'll have 7 days free to keep that backed up because, you know, the odds of you really needing it are probably 0, but it's nice to have a camera where you can see it. So they're available, the technology has gone great. You don't have to have an electrician come out for the sensors on the side of my house where my kid's trampoline is at. I have the solar light, so it's just, I stuck it on the side of my house, the panel's up on top. My kids come out, as soon as they jump on the trampoline, motion goes, light comes on, they have light the whole time they're there playing. And it's the same thing that we're gonna recommend you put on the side of your house. It's not expensive. I bought mine at Harbor Freight for 25 bucks. I put it up myself, you know, so luckily enough I was able to do that, but you know, it's not a ton of super expensive options to make your house just a little bit tougher for the bad guy to go, holy smokes, I'm gonna go next door because this guy's got this, he's got a light, this came on. The house I was at today had a light, it was white, and it was directly above his front door. When I walked up to it, I thought it was a camera. And I said, hey, nice camera, when he opened the door, he's like, oh, that's just a light that comes on. Well, from the street, I guarantee you, every bad guy walking by there thinks that's a camera. Because it's white, it's shaped, it's round, I mean, it's just a spotlight that he uses to light up his front door. But cop, 22 years being a cop, I thought it was a camera. And I'm looking at it, I'm waving at it when I knock on the door. So, bad guy's not walking up to that front door. I told him, I said, that's great. And he was asking the same thing, security doors. Yep, they're awesome. Bad guy's gonna find another way to get in.
Zane, keep talking about Report It.
Yeah, and then Report It is another one. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the organization called Leads Online, but we use Leads Online. They run all the information that goes through our pawn shop. So if every pawn shop that gets a laptop has to enter the serial number, the make, model, all that stuff, it gets uploaded into the database at Leads Online. Cops have access to that. We can go in and we've recovered tons and tons of stolen property because of Leads Online. You know, we have, like, I'm trying to think what I recovered. Like, I had a horseshoe ring that was stolen, a horseshoe-shaped ring. So I Googled on Leads Online, horseshoe-shaped ring, Pond in Henderson, found one. I mean, I've recovered property just from us being doing a little extra step on property that's unusual that you don't see all the time. So Leads Online has started a person's database. So every individual, they are offering free 100 spaces, basically. So if you have 100 items you want to put on Leads Online, you can do all your serial numbers for your TVs, your computers, your rings you can take pictures of, you can upload that, and then they have that in the database. So then if your house is burglarized, you don't have to necessarily worry about, man, where did it, they took my computer, all my stuff was uploaded to my computer. This is up to the database. It's not something me as a cop has access to, but if that TV that you have listed as yours gets pawned, they'll probably send you an email saying, hey, we just got this SCA-TV with the serial number that you provided that was pawned at this location. Did you pawn that, or was that stolen? It just is another tool for us to recover some of your property, because jewelry is something that's really hard to recover. Anything without a serial number is tough for us to find, because there's a million. I Googled once men's fur full-length, full coat. You wouldn't think there'd be very many of those pawned, and there were hundreds of them pawned in Nevada. So, some stuff is tough to find. So that is you go to reportitleadsonline.com, right? Reportit.leadsonline.com is the website for that.
We'll get that to Sandy also.
Right, we'll get that where you don't have to write that down, but something to think about if you want to take the time to get all your information put in there. Again, us as cops aren't going through that database to see what you got and what kind of cool stuff you got. That's not what that's for. It's for you guys to have all your stuff written down in a place so you can have it if something bad ever does happen.
And it's for insurance purposes too. Insurance companies use that. So if there were a fire or if it was stolen, everything's there, and you can just send that straight to the insurance company, and it's all there. So it's great because you kind of preemptively store all your serial numbers, and like you said, all the pictures, you put everything up there. And the key is the jewelry, right? Jewelry is so difficult. If we're looking for a gold-colored ring, we don't know what we're looking for when it comes to pawn shops, right? You guys know, but you don't. How are you going to go through the 100 pawn shops there are in the city where this guy could have pawned it, right? That's why if that picture's up there, it's going to be able to easily be linked. We're going to know what we're looking for. So with those pictures, it's going to be key, especially for jewelry. All right. And also with jewelry, if you can, if it's possible to maybe put an inscription on there, right? You can etch some things in the back, if initials or something, if you can personalize it. where it's not seen. That's one tip that I love giving out there. If you can put your initials or your birth date or something like that, that way it's going to be easily identified, right? And then when it comes to leads online, leads is spelled L-E-A-D-S. So it's reportit.leads, L-E-A-D-S, online.com. You just create an account and then you can start uploading serial numbers and pictures of everything. All right, all good? Yep.
Thanks, Zane. Thanks, John. Real quick, before we get to our question and answer, I want to talk a little bit more. Is your Sun City Anthem Patrol Chief, Steve Anderson, and I are constantly communicating. He was talking to me about this before really any of you were talking about this, and I was talking to him. So we have a great rapport with your community patrol. Do you call your community patrol if you have a problem or suspicious thing? No, 311. Then let the community patrol know. They're not police officers. They are just you guys. Okay? We're the guys who are paid to confront, investigate, and do that stuff. Let them know afterwards, and that's fine. But a lot of times we get calls that, well, I reported it to the Sun City Patrol. Well, you got to get it to us. That's how we get the information, because our dispatchers can't take third, fourth, and fifth-hand information. Along with that, I'm going to steal something that I went to the block captain's meeting last week with Samaria, and I thought she had a great first slide on her crime statistics, because I send them to the crime statistics up here to Steve and Samaria each month. And right now, I think there are around 36 burglaries for the entire year up here. And I think last year was around 39 total. So you can see we're getting towards the end and we're a little bit higher than we were if things go on. So we might be in the 40s by the end of the year if it continues. If we were to hit 75, that would be 1% of the calls for service up here for the entire year. So that's how low crime really is up here. And not that we're saying, oh, just dismiss this. We're not saying that at all. I'm just saying you guys still live in a very safe community. One of the safest communities in the entire nation. We were just ranked for the 5th straight year in a row in the top 10 safest cities of America. And that's because of you guys and how our city government takes this to heart. And along those lines, this is a priority for the Henderson Police Department. We have 3 problem-solving units, 1 in each area command, west, north, and east, and they are our property crimes detectives. The West PSU team, this is a priority job that they're working on right now. The deputy chief is actually here today. The chief is aware of this, the city manager is aware, your city council people, and the mayor and the city manager are all aware of this, and we are keeping them briefed on this almost daily about what's going on. So it's a priority to us, I know it's a priority to you. And I think I'm going to turn it over to Rex.
Oh, thanks. That was a great presentation. Before I go any further, yes. Before I go any further, I was remiss in not mentioning previously that SCA-TV is here. We have a crew, Bob Passaro, and Tony. Anybody else? Okay. That's it. And I hope when we sent our e-blast out that we mentioned that. I see a lot of bare knees in the audience at me, so maybe we forgot to tell people that the TV was going to be here. So what we should do, I think, is have anybody that wants to ask a question go ahead and start queuing up at the mics on both sides.
I think SCA-TV would prefer if they came to the microphone because they are taping this to go on your in-house channel and on the website. I'm sorry, but we would ask that you come down.
So if you go ahead and queue up here, while we're doing that, Bella Nice had just a few comments she wanted to add, and then we'll go to questions.
Okay, and Rex did point out, we did want to call your attention that we're taping, and we really want to thank SCA-TV. One of our outstanding service groups for taking the time to be here today to help us with that. What we wanted to share with you from the board's perspective and our management team perspective is a renewed focus on the importance of the Neighborhood Watch program here in Sun City Anthem. For years we've thanked Samaria. We know we wouldn't have what we have today without her. And we fully acknowledge it's time for us to really pay attention to what she's been asking for in terms of help. and attention from our level, and believe me, we are doing that. We have managed to put together several service groups here in Sun City Anthem, and what we intend to do from our perspective on the board and our management team is to provide some coordination for that. For those groups, and that strengthens each one of those groups. The patrol, the neighborhood watch, the community service group, emergency preparedness, and through all of that, SCA-TV is going to be right there to help us get the message out. Also, you'll know that management has started in our Spirit magazine and the Relay. You find information every month about Neighborhood Watch program and the patrol. And they're going to continue to make sure that information is right there at your fingertips. So anytime you can't remember these phone numbers or the website or no, grab the Spirit. That information will be there. And another important thing that you can do today, if you haven't done it, is to check, fill out this form for the Community Patrol to be in their reverse phone directory. That way, if they drive by your house and see something amiss, they know whose house it is, and they can call you simply by having your address and phone number in that reverse directory. Now, I think Steve has put some of these forms in the back of the room, so look for the form, and if you're not already in that reverse directory, you can take care of that today.
I just wanted to add on the reverse directory, I think some of our residents assume that as the association we are able to provide community patrol with your contact information. By law, we're not allowed to do that. The only way is for you to opt in and fill out this form, so we highly encourage you to give them that contact information. It's important for many reasons for all the functions that they do. If they find something odd at your home, simple as a burst pipe to an open garage door to a variety of things. If they don't have the contact information, there's a delay. If it's after hours, there's definitely a delay. So please fill it out.
And we real quick, we use that also. Like we'll contact your community, hey, we found this house. It seems strange. Do you have a contact for them? So it's something, they're one of our resources when we're up here.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, listen, we'll start then on my right, and we'll just alternate from one mic to the next. When it's your turn, please give us your name and your neighborhood, and address your question to anybody who's up here.
Okay, I'm Gene Coe, I live at 2345 Calcasta. I'm Gene Coe, I live at 2345 Calcasta Drive. You mentioned early on that the most preferred entry point these days is the sliding back door.
Yes.
I also have a regular door that's full glass from the master bedroom onto the patio. Between those two, do you think it's worthwhile to put a keyless deadbolt on the inside of the bedroom door, for one question? And what else can you do on the sliding door besides the laminate to keep it from shattering? Do they break in with a crowbar? Do they slide the door open? Or do they just break in?
What we've seen is basically any kind of glass. So we've seen an actual swinging door with the full glass broken and then unlocked from the inside, or the whole glass broken out and then walked through. So a keyless deadbolt on both sides is actually a very good option to harden your target, but there again, it is glass. So they make security gates, like the front, for your sliding glass door also. Those are a lot bigger, a lot more expensive, and probably not as sightly either.
Always gone down en route for the first door, front door, but the back sliding door is.
And we're finding the laminate tends to be the best at that because you can't see it, and they're not going to mess around trying to peel it back to get inside at that point. They're making noise while they're doing that.
But if they do break it or shatter it, they still aren't going to be able to get in because of the laminate.
Correct. It stays there. They actually have to start working at it and pry it away. That's keeping them outside too long, and they're making too much noise is what we find.
Thanks for your question.
And then also secondary locks, right? You can put sticks in the little things like that. We obviously recommend when we do our septet stuff also on top of doing any laminate or anything like that.
We have pins stopping
Right.
on the sliding.
I'm pretty sure the patrol can come to your house and they cut the PVC pipes, right? You guys still do that, so if you want, you can ask the patrol, they'll come in and PVC pipe in the sliding glass door.
I've got 3/4 inch dowel rod.
Yeah, or yeah, as you say, anything else.
Okay, on my left.
Hi, my name is Renee Rosenberg, and I met with Sandy about 2 weeks ago, and I kind of spearheaded this meeting. So thank you for coming, we do appreciate it.
Anytime.
And my question is this, about monitoring. I just got the Simply Safe system, and I'm kind of confused still about what the system is. Because everybody is saying that you have monitoring and you have an alarm, but you guys don't come out when the alarm goes off. Is this correct?
So we had to change our policy years ago. Henderson's 105 square miles, about 300,000 people, and we have about 360 officers, positions on the book, and right now we don't have that many officers. So with the amount of, like with the storm we just had right now, there's going to be all sorts of alarms going off. And we had to respond to those when Zane and I first started. We responded to those all the time on windy nights. That's all we did all night. So we had to prioritize those. And basically, unless your monitoring system can tell us that they hear somebody inside or can see somebody inside through an audio or visual along with the alarm, then we will stop. So we need some kind of two-factor authentication to allow us to go to that. Otherwise, in the 21 years I've been a cop, I have been on the street the whole time. I have never gone to a residential burglary that was actually real. That from an alarm. I've been to lots of residential burglaries, but where an alarm went off and notified us, I've never been to a real one.
So I hope everybody understands if you have a monitoring system and you don't have a camera or audio, there's no reason to have
And usually what they do is they'll have a rover drive through the neighborhood at some point in time during the night, and if they find a window or a door open, then they'll call us. Then we come out, because now it's being confirmed that something suspicious has happened. But just the alarm alone, we will not come out on. We just can't.
Thanks, Renee.
I always suggest having a loud, audible alarm because you'd rather have them hear, if somebody were to break in, you don't want them spending 2 hours in your house, right? If there's an loud alarm, then, worst case scenario, they're in there a couple minutes, right? They're not going to be in there ransacking the whole house. So we suggest an alarm, but it may not have to be monitored, right? So, but the alarm is a great thing because you don't want them in there all day. Absolutely.
Right, because we found with the alarm, bad guy will break in, alarm's going off, they're still gonna go look for something. Generally, they run to the master bedroom, they look for a jewelry box, something grabbed, throw in a backpack, and now they're off running down the street, but they're only in for 5 minutes. Hopefully, your neighbors can hear the alarm going off. It's just, they're gonna be worried about eyes on the street, and we've got a lot of guys because of that. We've got guys running across golf courses because they burglarized one house and they're running to the other side where they parked their car completely in a different neighborhood than where they just burglarized. And we're responding to what a burglary is, you know what I mean? So it's a game we play with the bad guys, but we have got guys because of the alarm, and it keeps them out, and it gets them in and out. Like I have it on my house. It's a kind of a peace of mind from when my wife comes home that she knows nobody's been in our house, you know what I mean? So even though we don't respond, it's still good for you to have because you at least know what's going on when you get home.
Jim Stevens from Shadow Canyon. And gentlemen, thank you very much for coming today, and I appreciate your service. My question is, you say we're doing a great job, so 16 burglaries concerns me. And so I'm wondering, are there any common denominators that we're missing, like unlocked gates, or that you're seeing from those 16 burglaries, or the past year where there were more than 16?
Basically what we're seeing is the daytime hours between noon and around 6 p.m. So it's somebody who's in the neighborhood that looks like they should be there, or somebody who's driving around and looking for signs that are telling them that nobody's probably home at this time of day. Like we're not quite sure what that would be, but that's what it seems, because in all the burglaries we've had, no one's been home. So they're pretty sure, and most likely, what we're assuming, because we've seen this before, is they think nobody's home at this house, they target it, they walk up to the front door, they knock on the door, they ring the doorbell, and then when nobody answers, they really feel at 99% that nobody's home. And that's something I forgot to mention earlier. If you are home and you don't want to answer the door and you feel uncomfortable, always yell out through the door. Don't answer it, but go, "I'm not expecting anybody, please leave." Let them know somebody's home. Because if they hear nothing, you could be confronted with somebody breaking the back window or trying to force your front door open.
Yeah, we tell our kids the same thing, you know what I mean? Make noise, tell them dad's in the shower, and then and go, call the cops, leave, because like you said, 99.9% of the time, they want an empty house, just kick in the door and go shopping.
if you are running to the store real quick, or if you're going to be on, I'm starting to suggest people do either leave the TV on, turn the radio on, have so it sounds like you're home, right? Because it seems like they're waiting for everybody to be completely gone. So it makes them have some noise, have something on inside the house, so it sounds like somebody might be home.
Just real quickly, when you have people that are gone for summer, let's say. I mean, what can
And there have been quite a handful of houses that are snowbirds. So there is, let the patrol know that you're going to be gone. Stop your mail service, stop your package service, stop your newspaper service, any of those kind of things. Make sure that the landscaping, I think a lot of the landscaping is done by the association, or no, I'm sorry, it's not. So make sure that, you know, the weeds aren't overgrown, make sure that if somebody is, and then get to know your neighbor and have them check on your house on a regular basis, along with the patrol. But people who are living there right by can see the nuances of what's going on, and if nobody cut the grass for 2 weeks, then that's pretty obvious in a well-manicured neighborhood that somebody's probably not there. So it's those things that we're asking just to harden the target, because right now we can't pin it on one thing. We just know that they're guessing very well, and I'm guessing they're very educated guesses on the people who aren't home in the West.
Thanks for your question. Thank you.
My name is Mike Crowitz. There are lots of us that are walking around, walking dogs. I'm wondering if it would be useful for people to routinely photograph license plates of vehicles that you don't know what they are. And after the fact, if there were a burglary, you could access those.
That would be a great help to us. So if you were to hear about a burglary and then send us an email with it, or we could stop by and get copies of those, that would be a lead for us. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be somebody who's legitimately there, but that one time could be the lead that breaks the case. So thank you, sir. Good idea.
Do it safely. You know, don't ever put yourself in any harm's way. Don't confront anybody. The whole key to neighborhood watch is being a good witness. All right. If you see somebody that doesn't belong out there, do not confront them. All right. We're going to tell you that every time. All right. Let us do our job. Call us. But yes, please be a great witness. Most people, your phones have cameras on them, right? Cameras, video cameras. Take a picture if it's safe to do so. All right. Don't go and chasing somebody and run down the street with it and taking a picture. A lot of the time, because if that is the bad guy, you don't know what kind of drugs they may be on. You don't know if I'm going to get caught, this might be it for me, right? I could get locked up for 15 years. You don't know what they're going to do to prevent them from getting caught, or what kind of weapons they might have on them. So just do it safely, all right? Get it as good of a description as you can. But if you can, from your house, get a good snapshot of them or their vehicle, absolutely. We always suggest that. But just do it safely, please. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
My name is Donna Rohr, and I'm from Ridgecrest Community. And one of the things that I've been concerned about lately is that I'm used to having a uniformed person deliver packages from Amazon.com. And a lot of people may realize that recently Amazon is trying to change delivery services, and I've had 3 incidents. Where the first time a person delivering a package drove through a barricaded street. The second time I asked a person who looked like they didn't belong in the neighborhood what they were doing, and they really told me I couldn't help them. And the third time, a guy who was, again, not uniformed, not in a marked car, literally rang my doorbell, left a package, which I didn't know he left a package. I just saw this guy ring my doorbell and run from my porch. And I thought to myself, that guy's going to get himself shocked by somebody, because the neighborhood's been a little bit on edge. And so I don't know if people know that Amazon has been changing this delivery service, and I haven't been very pleased. I filed a complaint with Amazon, and they said they would, but if you tell Amazon that you're not happy about this, or if you're having a good experience, that's good, but I don't like a lot of these unmarked, uninformed people coming into my neighborhood, especially right now. And so anyway, this has been something I've been concerned about, and I didn't know if everybody was aware of it.
I had that happen on a Sunday afternoon, and I think he's an Uber driver, and he was also moonlighting as a Amazon and a Lyft and whatever else. But he dropped off a package at my house just in tennis shoes and shorts and a regular Toyota Camry. So yeah, something we can't control, but they're again very suspicious. And if you see those kind of cars, even if they are dropping it off, we don't know exactly who they are. So jot down their license number and a good description, and then if you see us up there for something else, let that Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Don.
Alvarado is from High Mesa. Officer Simpson, where did you get the motion activated light?
They sell them at Home Depot, online, you know, you can go to Amazon, there's a million options out there. Amazon. I don't know who's going to be delivering it. You know what I mean?
It all goes through.
Yeah, they have them at Home Depot, Lowe's, you can get them there, go ask for them. I mean, the technology is pretty incredible.
Thanks. Yes.
I'm Lonnie Foldo, I live in Mountain View Village. Two things. One about the question about the security screen doors. I got one in the springtime for my back patio from Security Screen Masters. It is custom made to the size of your door. Both sides open and they both lock. And I feel so much safer having it. It's just an incredible screen door. I love it. I feel a lot more secure with that than anything else in my house. I got one on the front door, but it was there when I moved in. I don't know the manufacturer. But this
How much did it cost?
about $1,800 to $2,000. But I've got so much security. It's one of the best things I've done. More important than replacing my floors.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, when I was growing up, we were never supposed to trust anyone over 30. Now, we're over 30.
Are you over 30, guys? Barely.
Now it seems like I'm not supposed to trust anyone under 50, and so when I'm walking around my neighborhood with my dog, I see a club of bike riders, so I know they're okay. But I see an occasional bike rider who's young. The other day, there was someone who was parked on the side of the road. They had a big trailer that was open, it was full of clothing, so it looked like someone who's probably selling clothing or something, and she was checking something. She said hi to me, and she packed everything up, and a couple minutes later, she was gone. So it's like anyone that I don't normally see they're not, do I consider everyone suspicious? How do I know who's really suspicious?
You have
a lot of people are visiting people.
we all have that sixth sense. We know when something doesn't quite look right in your neighborhood. It doesn't, you guys have such, tight-knit communities that you kind of know which cars are coming and going. You know if families coming over on Sundays. You know if there's activity over there during certain times. Kind of use that sixth sense you have. Somebody who's selling something, you guys all have no soliciting rules up here, and they shouldn't be up here doing that kind of a thing. Because first of all, they probably don't have a business license, they're not licensed, they're not bonded. If somebody's knocking on your door saying that your house needs to be repainted or you need a new roof, you don't go with the person who's knocking on your door to tell you that. If you're worried about it afterwards, then call some reputable places you can find in the phone book, through the Better Business Bureau, Better Licensed and Bonded. I've been working with the security companies here in Las Vegas for the last few years, and their best guess is somewhere between 40 to 60% of the security companies here in town are not licensed or bonded by the state of that. So you really need to do your homework. An ADT, of course, is going to be, and there's a whole bunch of other really good, high quality ones. They're going to be more money than the guy who shows up on your front porch saying, I can put 8 cameras in for $4,000, and I need $3,999 right now.
And one day, there was a knock on my door, and there was a big white truck outside that wasn't marked. The guy said, do you call for a pickup for Big Brothers Big Sisters? I went, no. And then he sat there in the front for a while, and then I thought later on after he drove off that I should have called the police. But then when I was going to work, I didn't leave until he left. And I went out one way, and he went out another way, and he was behind me when I hit Eastern. So I just...
Yeah, we would like to know about those. There again, a lot of times they will, but if they're nondescript and they don't have a uniform on, that's pretty suspicious. We will get them stopped, we'll find out who they are, and probably just let them go on their way, but we'll know who they are.
And he did wave the paper that looked like it might have been something, but who knows?
But we all have printers, we can do anything we want, right? So, thank you.
Our database and our computers is awesome, so if you give us a plate and we stop it later on, or we do something as simple as running the registered owner of the car through leads online to see what he's bonded, and now we got a guy that's bonded 10,000 items, right? That's strange. Now maybe we have a clue. And all it took was, one plate coming in and somebody taking that one extra step to run the registered owner, see what they got going on, or see how many times we've stopped it. We got a pretty good database.
Yes, sir.
Real close and loud.
Sorry, I speak softly. Terry Warren, Royal Vista. I've noticed, I actually have 3 quick questions. I've noticed some security cameras that you guys have set up at on Anthony Park and 185 again. What are those about?
We have, those are a new program we started earlier this year, and they're self-contained solar-powered camera systems that we can remotely, through the internet, look live at traffic, and it also is recording. So we're trying them out in different areas around town as a crime deterrent, and also if a crime was reported, we have it recorded so we can go back and look to see if we can